Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Becky and I like to give tips for beginners makeup and random vlogs. If you are not new here, welcome back. Today's video is going to be about foundation and if you're supposed to use a brush or a sponge. So if you want to know which one you should use, then keep on watching. I already have my skin prepped. I already did my morning skincare routine. You did see a video on that already. I already have face primer on, so I'm just gonna go straight into the foundation. Now, I do have a foundation video on my channel already where I go in depth into how to choose your foundation color. So we're not going to touch on that. Go ahead and watch that other video for more information on that. One of the questions I get asked is, do you apply foundation with a brush or with a sponge? The answer to that is it depends on what foundation you're using and what coverage you want. Let me explain. So there are three different tools that we can use to put on foundation. We can use a kabuki brush like this one, which is dense. We can use a sponge, what was known more as a foundation brush. I don't have one with me, but I will put a picture up on the screen. With me at the moment, I have three different foundations, and each of these foundations have a different consistency. So the first one I'm going to show you is this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This one here, and I'm going to show you as it's dropping onto my hand, is more liquid, is more liquidy, is more of a runny consistency. So see how it ran down my hand? You want to be using a kabuki brush to blend it out. And the way you do it is simply like this, tapping. Right now I'm exaggerating the taps just for the video, but you tap it into your skin. With this type of foundation, you can also use the foundation brush, which is thinner, for a fuller coverage, but I personally never use one of those brushes because I can get the same finish with a kabuki brush. So I'm not saying you have to use these brands or this technique is only for these brands, but you're going to look at the consistency of the foundations and apply it to the foundation that you use. The Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and pump some onto my hand and see how this one does not run at all. So this is a thicker consistency. When it comes to a thicker consistency, you can use both. I'm going to just put some here, a kabuki brush or a sponge. Now my sponge is dry, so let me show you with the sponge. So I'm just again patting that in and blending it out. So what you want to keep in mind, and the reason you use the sponge with a thicker consistency, is because the sponge is still a sponge at the end of the day. It's still going to absorb product. If you use a sponge for a more liquidy foundation or for a thinner foundation, then the sponge is going to absorb a lot more of it. You are going to get a less product payoff on your face, as opposed to something that is thicker, but you do want to use the foundation according to your skin type. So because I have spots on my face that I like to cover, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Milani one. Anytime you have something as far as a dropper or a pump, you want to make sure that this part of the bottle does not touch your skin for bacterial purposes, things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and warm up the foundation and then apply it. And notice how I am dabbing it on. I'm still spreading it around by going up and down, but I'm not smearing it on my face. That's going to get you the best coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and avoid this area here because foundation can be a little too heavy for your under eyes. Keep in mind that that part of your eye or your eye area in general is sensitive. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that all over my face, except of course the under eye. And see, I only did one pump of the foundation and it still was enough to cover my whole face. Now, if I wanted to build it up, if I wanted to cover more of this, then I can go ahead and add some more to the back of my hand for a better coverage. Now I am going to do about half a pump, which is kind of hard to do with pumps, but I'm gonna go ahead and do about half a pump just so I can get enough on my neck. Keep in mind that the foundation should be brought down to your neck for a better blend. Sometimes, depending on the brush that you use, even after going in with like a kabuki brush or a foundation brush, sometimes going over it with a sponge is needed to blend out creases or brush strokes. After I apply the foundation, I do just go over one more time with the sponge and by tapping it in to make sure that I don't have any creasing or any streaks. That was today's video. I don't want to make it too long. This is going to be part of a series. So stay tuned for the next video and I will see you guys later. Bye beauties.